it will be 30. Doing great myself too.
Curious about how this race will. Now I just want to see the competition.
Yep.
And you?
Yes, out. It will be interesting to see how the one in the Lamborghini. Third place is Lunacy in the Subaru. Fourth place we got Blue. In sixth place, making his debut, is Zipotter from Germany in the Mercedes. P8 we got in the Hyundai Genesis Banana Cake Pie. In P9 is Yerato driving the Chevrolet Corvette. In P10 driving the 911 is the Stone Tail. In P11 driving the Mitsubishi Lancer is V19. P12 in the Mercedes AMG GT3 is Christofferek, and rounding out the grid, Tidal Wave in P13 driving the Dodge Viper. So without further ado, I'm gonna start the replay in 3, 2, 1 as we wait for the lights to go out.
Let's begin.
Pernas from pole. Is he going to be able to hold it into turn 1? As the lights go out and away they go. Ridwan has a really strong start as Pernas and Lunacy burn out the tires at the start. Ridwan straight into the lead into the first corner as Blue Racer seems to be challenging Pernas into the turn 1. Pernas keeps the inside line for turn 2 and holds on to P2, but Ridwan is now comfortably, well, not comfortably, but has a small margin heading into turn 4. So great start from him. Pernas drops down to P2, Blue Racer up to P3, and he's going to challenge him into turn 4, but he thinks better of it as Macaulay now comes down the inside at Interlagos.
Wow, what a start from Ridwan F1, and what a rivalry between Furnace, Blue Racer 7 and also Macaulay.
Yeah, Macaulay is really bringing the fight to them, but the biggest loser out of all this is Lunacy, who started in P3 and has unfortunately dropped down to P6. But heading back to the front, Ridwan leads from Pernas, from Blue Racer, the top 3, and the top 3 that have been fighting for the last few rounds as well. P4 we got Macaulay, P5 is Lunacy, in P6 we got Banana Cake Pie, P7 V19, P8 Yeratel, P9 Prying Stingray. Rounding out the top 10 we got Christofferek, who's jumped a couple of places. P11 big loser in the first lap, Zipotter, having started P6. P12 we got the Stone Tail, and still running out the grid is Tidal Wave.
Most of the racers started with medium tires.
Yep, I've also noticed that. Ridwan's on mediums. All of the top few guys are on mediums except for Macaulay in P3 and in P6 V19. So that would explain why Macaulay has gotten past Blue Racer with the tire advantage. But Pernas is all over the back of Ridwan and is thinking about a move, but slots back right behind his wing. So it'll be interesting to see this battle unfold. Pernas coming off. Yeah. Pernas having won the last race, he has the momentum, and Ridwan having missed the last race has lost a bit of ground, but obviously coming off last 3 wins before round 5, his confidence is still pretty high. As Pernas dips into the grass, and is that going to open the door for Macaulay? Yes it is. Macaulay up to P2 as Pernas makes an unusual mistake from him. You don't usually see that from Pernas.
Yes, he showed as a very consistent driver since his last races, and I still believe that he is like all-arounder, but I don't know if he makes mistakes today. I just want to see if he will continue his consistency today, and then I can, bet on him.
Yeah, just made a small mistake now, but nothing major. As Zipotter is into the pits, so he has front damage and front left suspension damage, so that's an unfortunate start for him. especially on his
Yeah,
debut.
very unfortunate.
Yeah. So lap 3, it's still Ridwan in the lead, ahead of Macaulay, Blue Racer, Lunacy is a top 5.
This race is very interesting to me because this is a high downforce track, you know, and there will be lots of grip pads in the straight line. I just want to see how the cars will perform.
And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they perform in comparison to each other. But I've just realized that Ridwan's accelerator has dropped off, and he is ghosting. So I'm assuming that he's paused the game, trying to fix the wheel, and I think that's going to open the gap for Macaulay and Pernas to take advantage of it, as they do slot into P1 and P2. So Ridwan having an issue there, but looks like he's just got back up to speed. And his accelerator looks to be working for now. But yeah, that puts Macaulay for the first time I think this season into the lead of the race. He is on super softs, but it's still a great performance from him.
Yes, this is the very first time since his races for the season, and I don't know if he continues like this, but I believe that he is using his soft tires advantage.
Yeah, he's abusing them, but using them, well, making the most out of them. He's made his way up to P1, so although he will have to use harder compounds later in the race, at least he's taking advantage of the softer compounds for now. Into lap 5 we go. Macaulay has opened up quite a distance to Pernas, obviously on his super soft tires. In P3 we have Ridwan, P4 Blue Racer, who seems to be under pressure from V19, and V19 does send it down the inside and takes P4, but V19 we have to also recognize that he is on super softs too. Is he going to try to send the one down the inside? No, he just decides to stay behind Ridwan for now. But also another rapid start for another unusual driver. You don't usually see V19 so high up in the grid, but making the most of this softer compound of tyre.
V19 also started to perform solid performances.
Yep. Yeah, over the last few races it's slowly been improving, as Ridwan's accelerator problem looks to be back. Yeah, it not giving full input to the accelerator, so that's going to be an issue for him. But moving back up further into first place, we still have Macaulay, who seems to continue to open the gap to Pernas, as he should be doing so.
It's very unfortunate for Ridwan because last week he couldn't turn up, and today he has some issues, and
now he's just lost
podium
position.
Yeah. Now 4.
Yep. It's been a tough run for him, but it's just racing, as Blue Racer will look to capitalize on this and closes in on Ridwan. Meanwhile, further down the grid, everything seems to be normal. Tipotter is off the road, so another issue for him. Must have had a spin there. But someone who is having an issue-free race is Macaulay. Seems to be really running away with it for now on the super soft tires, and is comfortably in the lead ahead of Pernas, who seems to be losing ground to V19, another driver on the super soft. So the super softs seem to be really strong around here today.
Yes, exactly, but let's see if they will we keep this good performance until the end.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see if they will be able to deliver mediums and 7 laps on softs. So the drivers will be forced to switch to the harder compound. So all those drivers that are on super softs for now will definitely go for a 2-stop, as they will have to use the mediums and have to use the softs.
Yes, exactly.
But
Blue
yeah.
Racer 7 is chasing behind, and now he's closing the gap.
Yeah, he might be thinking of chucking a move down the inside, outside. He gets a switch back. We know Ridwan has an accelerator problem. Will he be able to get the run into turn 6 now? Just unable with the straight line speed of that Porsche, but we know how good that Porsche is on fuel saving and tire saving, so I wouldn't be surprised if over the course of the next few laps he will be able to get past.
B19 is still second, and
Yep.
it's very interesting actually. We haven't seen him go up like that.
Yeah. Well, I missed that overtake, but yeah, V19's all the way up into P2, and that's, I think, his highest he's been running in this season. So really strong performance from him and from Macaulay, of course, as the two guys on the super softs make critical use of them and are running away with it. This will cost a lot of time to Pernas and the likes behind him, seeing as these generally slower guys are costing them time and bringing the fight to them essentially. They're not going to give in. Yeah. As Ridwan and Blue Racer still having a good old scrap for P4. Blue Racer might be able to send one around the outside of turn 6 here. Ridwan gives him just enough space, but it's hard to pull off a move there. Will he try into turn 8 now? No, but Ridwan is sliding, so that might give Blue Racer the opportunity to send one down into the 4th last corner. Into the right hander they go. Ridwan's sliding all over the place. Blue Racer gets a switch back. Blue Racer might be able to stick it around the outside, but no, Ridwan continues to defend quite robustly. Obviously title rivals, the two of them. Ridwan in P1 and Blue Racer in P2, so not surprising that he's making it very difficult for Blue Racer to overtake him. As Macaulay does dive into the pits, so first one to be in the pits, Macaulay getting rid of those super softs and having to switch to the mediums or softs. But this battle for P3 is really heating up now between Ridwan, Blue Racer and Lunacy, who's been dragged into the fight.
Yeah. He's coming behind, and also Blue Racer 7 is chasing Ridwan F1 like a hunter.
Yeah, essentially like a hunter, like he wants that P3. Ridwan's issue doesn't seem that bad. He still has 90% of the accelerator, so that should be alright for him to be able to defend for now. Blue Racer still trying to get past though. Obviously seems to be the faster car at the moment, and he just can't find that right angle. Ridwan keeps on closing off all the doors, so must be frustrating for him as Ridwan gets really slidey.
Ridwan just doesn't allow him.
Yeah. Again, title rivals obviously won't make it easy for each other to overtake. But Blue Racer, he's trying. Even Prime Stingray has been. Yeah. Prying Stingray has been brought into this battle too now, so 4 of them battling for P2, as V19 has also pulled the pin and gone into the pits.
This is a very good view to watch. You know, lots of racers are just running for P2.
Yeah, all 4 of them. As Ridwan's a bit wide on exit, and that opens the door for Blue Race, and Blue Race finally slips into P2, and will look to hold on to this. Ridwan unable to handle the nature of the Lamborghini, it seems, today. Just sliding all over the place and just can't get that car under control. As Lunacy looks now to take P3 away from him around the outside, and he's got it done. So Ridwan, in a matter of few corners, has dropped out of the podium positions, having run in P2. Having been running in P2. Lunacy is a bit wide on exit though. Will this give an opportunity for Ridwan to take back P3? He's in the toe of the car ahead, but again, that issue with his throttle isn't doing him any favors.
Despite his problems, I think he has defended his position really well.
Yep, and there were 3 wide at one point, and Prying Stingray is the biggest winner from that. 2 places into 1 corner, so from P5 to P3, and now he has a bit of clear air. He will look to try to ditch the 2 behind him, as Blue Race has done just that. Ditch the pack behind him, and
Yes.
Ridwan trying to go down the inside, but Prying Stingray closing the door, and Ridwan unable to find a response to that.
Prying Stingray's third position was, you know, very fast actually, because I just couldn't see how this happened. It was very clear.
Yeah, it was happened in a blink of an eye, and Prying Stingray just sent one down the inside and got it stuck. As Lunacy has made his way past Ridwan as well. So Ridwan dropped down to P5. Tough break for the championship leader, but again, that's racing.
Yes, that's racing, and I hope that he will solve this problem. And next week we will be able to see his great battles for the pole position.
And for the race.
And also the race is not over yet.
Yep, we still have 2/3 of the race to go, as Bonus sees to extend his advantage over Blue Racer. As Ridwan has dived into the pits after 10 laps, 11 laps.
Our development star, which I call like this, Christopher, is now P8, and
yep.
I want to see if he is going to be able to, you know, continue his development pace.
It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, starting in P12, moving up to P8, so good progress. But obviously, Macaulay, V19, and Ridwan have all pitted and will be on fresher tires. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to hold on to P8. Further down the field, Taduo has swapped from the super softs onto the mediums, but back up to the front of the grid, Pernas sees to extend his advantage over Blue Racer. It's quite clear now, and comfortably in the race lead.
Also, last week's champion Pernas, we couldn't see him in this in Blue Raiders. Really fun. Now he's one.
Yep. And Prying Stingray and the Stone Tile pulled the pin, and they're getting rid of their mediums. So I'll probably assume that they're going onto the soft tires, maybe super softs, and we'll be going for a 2-stop strategy. To see if Ridwan comes out ahead of Prying Stingray. Prying Stingray did just overtake Ridwan before the pit stops. Ridwan will probably get ahead with the undercut, maybe not. Yeah, he's comfortably ahead. But still behind the likes of Macaulay and V19, who are now serving their times on the mediums. As this all promotes Christopher up to P6, so he's gonna be happy with that for now.
Yes.
But yeah, throughout the grid, not many battles going on. Everyone's just focusing on their own strategy, and it's just a tactical game for now.
Exactly. Also, again, we see that Bird Racing is again consistent in this race.
Yep.
Except
as
there's,
usual.
yeah.
Unfortunately for them,
Bodhod 1 is not attending.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Bodhod was unable to make this race. But the two drivers that are here today, Banana and Lunacy, are running a solid P3 and P4. So good stuff from the two of them.
It's very important for Ermin. You know, he had some issues.
Yeah, he just seems to have fixed his issues. I think he again lost a lot of time. He's stopped the game and fixed his thing again. His issue that seems to have gone away. So maybe he'll be able to make some progress up now. But back in the lead of the race, we have Pernas, who looks comfortable on fuel, comfortable on tires, and just a comfortable race. The way it's going, it looks like it's going to be another comfortable win for Pernas. And he really, if that happens, he's going to really mount a challenge to Ridwan and the likes ahead of him, like Lunacy and Blue Racer, since he will have the second win in a row and third podium in a row. So
yes, I agree.
It's quite a feat. If he continues with this momentum, he might very well challenge for the title.
Yeah, why not? And as I said before, then after this race, if he, you know, gets P1, P2, he will be proven by my side, at least.
Yeah. As Macaulay just slowed down for some reason, I'm not sure. Christopher overtakes him. Maybe they were involved in an incident. I missed the reason as to why they slowed down. But yeah, still quite a quiet race at the moment. There's a few gaps between everyone. I reckon the battle for P6 is the closest at the moment. Christopher on 15-year-old medium tyres, trying to fend off Macaulay, who pitted on lap 8 actually, and is now on medium tyres, so much fresher medium tyres, and he looks to take P6 away from Christopher, but V19 is trying to take P6 from the two of them, so it's heating up for them between them.
Yep.
Whilst a lot of them fight, Ridwan closes in on all three of them, so he will be happy to see them all fighting ahead of him. As Macaulay does make his way past Christopher and into P6, but now Christopher has the run into turn 1, and using the straight line speed of the Merc over the Lexus, he'll probably try to get a move down. Around outside.
He's coming.
It's all close, very close, and V19 actually takes P7 away from Christopher, so Christopher loses out 2 places in a matter of a few corners, but obviously he is on 16 lap old, 15 lap old mediums, so it was kind of expected. The
He
battle now
couldn't
is
use
really...
his advantage.
Yeah, true, and he might be able to do a one stop, but now the battle is between Macaulay and V19 for P6.
Also, Yaratel 84 is 5th, and as I remember, it has been P8 for the last 2 races.
Yeah,
And
he's made up some
I
progress.
just want to see, yes, if he's going to do better.
Yeah, as Pernas decides to do another lap, so he's most likely just doing a one stop, as Blue Racer pulls into the pits on his medium set of compound tires with 27% of fuel to go, so quite comfortable on fuel, and he'll probably try to get an undercut on Pernas, but I think the distance was too much for it to really pull off. Pernas lapping quite consistently. Lunacy into P2 now, Banana Cake Pie into P3, Yerato into P4, and the battle for P5 between V19 and Macaulay continues. V19 takes P5 away from Macaulay as Ridwan has slotted into P7 ahead of his teammate. His teammate probably letting him by. Where did these lot emerge? Did they emerge ahead of Blue Racer is the question. Prying Stingray comes out ahead of Prying Stingray of Blue Racer by quite a bit actually. So Blue Racer's down into P9 and has quite a bit of traffic to deal with if he's gonna try mount a challenge. As Ridwan sends one down the inside of V19, no questions asked, and takes P6. But look at the sliding. He's all over the place.
He's sliding.
Yeah. Must have a few issues. There's something wrong.
You can clearly see there's a problem because when we watched his other races, he's really consistent throughout the track, and today he has been sliding and he has been slow at some parts.
Yeah.
So there's a problem really.
But he has made his way past Macaulay and V19 and is into P2 now, as the top 3 have all pitted. It will be interesting to see where he emerges in relation to Pernas, if he's going to be quite a distance ahead or just to see the distance between the two of them. So Ridwan is in P2, Prime Stingray P5, and Pernas emerges in P7. Behind Blue Racer. So Blue Racer's undercut has worked. Blue Racer into P6, prying Pernas into P7.
Exactly. Today my eyes are on Blue Racer 7 and Pernas.
Yeah, those two are probably going to be the net leaders of the race at the moment. Blue Racer and Pernas, I would think. They're both doing one stop, whereas the rest of the drivers, I'm pretty sure, are doing a two stop. They're the leaders of the one stoppers anyway. As Zerato pulls the pin and Ridwan takes the lead of the race. So, despite all of the issues, he now leads the race. As V19 goes into Ridwan and spins him off the track. V19 too late on the brakes, spins Ridwan into turn 1. Macaulay takes the lead and Ridwan's tyres are blown. They have taken quite a big deficit. Can't even make the turn. So V19 just way too late on the brakes and costing Ridwan a lot of time and himself a lot of time. This brings the likes of Prying Stingray, Blue Racer, Pernas all into the fight, and it's all over the place now. Look at the going into turn 6. This isn't gonna end well. I can already see Ridwan's all over the place with the burnt up tire. And Pernas loses out quite a lot of time now. He's into P6. And it's all kicking off now for the battle for P2.
One small mistake caused lots of problems.
Yeah, V19 just too late on the brakes and chaos has just unfolded.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Macaulay, who's just run away with it, doesn't want to be involved at all.
Our leaders are now behind the pole position, and today is very unfortunate actually.
Yeah, as V19 goes into the pits. So with 13 laps to go, Macaulay leads from Prying Stingray, from Blue Racer, from Ridwan, and ahead of Pernas. P6 we got the Stone Tail, P7 Lunacy, P8 Banana Cake Pie, P9 Yeratil, P10 Christophoric, P11 V19, P12 Tidal Wave, and in P13 we got Zipotter. Yeah, Ridwan's right rear tire, both his rear tires are quite worn out now after that spin, as Pernas makes his way past. Can't really make his way past. It's all Ridwan's defending quite robustly and in a quite twitchy manner, not allowing any challenge from Pernas. Obviously Pernas is in much fresher tires, so you'll probably try to mount an attack into turn 1. Ridwan defends the inside line. Pernas goes on the outside line into turn 1. Ridwan runs him wide, gives him just enough room and holds on to the position for now. But Pernas, the longer he stays behind Ridwan, the longer he will be losing time to Blue Race ahead, so this is really costing
Great
Pernas
defense from Ridwan.
Yep, he does not want to give up, but don't know if this will help his championship, as Blue Racer looks to run away from Pernas and perhaps score more points, seeing as Macaulay and Prying Stingray will probably need to pit one more time and Blue Racer does not. And Ridwan spun a bit. There's contact between the two of them and Pernas goes into P4.
I am very sad to see Ridwan is having trouble like that.
Yeah, it's been a tough race for him, but again, like I said, it's racing and we move on. The Stone Tail is now also closing in. He will probably go a few more laps until pitting. He pit on lap 12 and now it's lap 21, so only done 8 laps, probably will do a few more. As Ridwan dives into the pits, yep, he's gonna do his last stint on probably softs, maybe super softs. Stone Tail into P4, P5. P4 is Pernas, who now makes his way past Ridwan and will try to close the gap to Blue Racer, but all that time he spent battling Ridwan, I'm not sure he'll be able to, as Macaulay lets his teammate by into P2. So good teamwork from Macaulay as he lets his teammate by into P2. Obviously Blue Racer is looking to take the lead of this race, having already pit and being on fresher tires, so it would make sense to let him by.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good move from him.
Prying Stingrays, but just holding on to it as Blue Racer looks to put pressure on the Australian.
Brian Stingray will not be able to hold on to P1 in my opinion because tires are going in a very bad condition right now.
Yeah, nothing much he can really do there because that's just how the race has unfolded for him. He had a different strategy, unable to save the tires as Blue Racer weaves all over the place, goes to the outside but can't make it stick. Blue Racer has to stay in P2 for now. As the Stone Towel goes into the pits for his second pit stop, as he looks to finish the last 11 laps on most likely super soft tires. Blue Racer now pulls out to the inside line and takes P1. Blue Racer's into the lead of the race,
Yes.
as expected, and now has 2 cars between him and Pernas. So really good progress from Blue Racer. And earlier it looked like Pernas is going to win comfortably. Now Blue Racer looks like the driver in the comfortable seat.
Exactly, it's a very interesting change of expectations. You know, for the I think back on the first 5 seasons, we were able to win this race. Just that everything changed.
Yeah, it was a big change up from the earlier stages of the race. Obviously, Blue Racer going with a different strategy and fuel saving a bit more. That's why he was able to have 23% fuel in the pits, whereas Pernas only had, I think, 2% from memory, maybe 1%. So that really helped him gain a lot of time. As Macaulay does jump into the pits, so Pernas now only has to clear one more other car before he tries to get to Blue Racer. But with only 7.5 laps to go, I mean 9.5 laps to go, I'm not sure that will be an option.
Yeah, I believe so.
Macaulay now switches up to the soft tires for his compulsory switch to the soft tires, and he will probably emerge in P6 if I'm not mistaken. P7 behind Yerto, but ahead of Christoph Reg, V19 and Ridwan. Moving back up to the front of the grid, Blue Racer still leads and has opened up quite a margin to Prying Stingray in P2. Obviously, Prying Stingray having pitted earlier and is on much more worn out tyres. I would expect him to pit. No, he does another lap. He stays out for another lap. Probably gonna pit next lap. Maybe he'll try to go to the end, but I don't think his tyres will handle that, or nor his fuel. Pernas in P3. I think he's closing the gap slightly, but it's not going to be enough at this rate to beat Blue Racer with 8.5 laps to go. Just under 9 laps to go.
6 left. Sorry, 3 seconds between Racer and bonus. But now 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's, well, Pernas did a 131.3 and Blue Racer did a 131.8, so he did cut half a second that lap, but again, I don't think that's going to be enough. With the limited time they have left, just over 8 laps to go, it might come down to the last lap, but I personally don't think Pernas will be able to take the win today.
Yeah, me too.
If he continues with the same pace.
Also, I think that there will traffic for P2, but now as I see, there are 9.8 seconds gap between Blue Racer 7 and the Lunacy P4. So we will not see such a thing like that.
Yeah, I agree. As Prying Stingray does pull into the pits on soft tires, so with 8 laps to go, he's gonna probably gun it on the super softs and try to just set fastest lap after fastest lap and try to recover a good position. But yeah, that makes Pernas one car. Well, the next car Pernas needs to overtake is Blue Racer. For see this go down to the wire at the end of the race, but I'm doubtful. As Ridwan makes his way into P7 around the outside of V19, and he makes it stick. So Ridwan into P8, and super soft tires compared to V19's soft tires. So it's pretty easy move for him.
So far, fastest lap belongs to Ridwan F1, but we will see.
Prying Stingray did just pit for super soft tires, and with 8 laps of fuel, would be almost certain that he'd get the fastest lap. But for now, Ridwan has it, and it's quite.
Yeah.
It's a decent achievement for him. Obviously, after having such a horrible race today. Someone who's not having a horrible race today, though, it's Blue Racer, still leading and quite comfortably in the lead. Just under 7 laps now to go, and the gap between him and Pernas has slowly, still closing, but isn't closing it as.
By the way, our German driver is P10 right now, after a horrible debut.
At the start of the race, he had a lot of issues, but it's nice to see him running in P10 in the Mercedes-AMG GT3. It's nice to see that he's picking up some, I mean, not great points, but it's still a top 10 finish on his debut, so can't complain about that.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. As Blue Racer starts lap 28 with 6 laps to go. So he just set a 131.6. Pernas set a 131.5, so only a tenth between the two. So again, Pernas is closing the difference, but not by a lot. And seeing as they're a few seconds at least apart, I'd say about 3 to 4 seconds. Closing at a rate of 0.1 seconds, so it's not going to do anything, essentially. And Blue Racer seems to be quite comfortably in the lead.
Also, Macaulay is very behind right now. He was having a good performance, but maybe that's because of his strategy.
Yeah, well, everyone else ahead of him has done a one-stop strategy, except for Yerato, I think. No, Yerato's only done one stop. Yeah, that's right. So everyone ahead of them has done one stop, except for Prying Stingray, who's done a 2-stop, and he's barely ahead. Well, he's got quite a distance on Macaulay, but it's not heaps. As Prying Stingray has set the fastest lap like I thought he would, as he gets a 130.1 on fresh super soft tires. So a solid lap from Prying Stingray.
Yeah.
.131.9 last lap for Blue Racer, 131.4 for Pernas. So maybe Blue Racer made a little bit of a mistake there, lost half a second. With 4.5 laps to go, it is closing, but still not enough. 4.5 laps is still enough time though. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
As Lunacy is sitting in P3 and looks set to get another solid result. don't want to jinx it or anything, but it looks like he's doing pretty well and it's in a comfortable position. Just gonna quickly check how many.
Exactly.
I think Lunacy has one of the most amounts of podiums this season. So Ridwan F1 has 4 podiums, Blue Racer has 4 podiums, Lunacy has 3 podiums, Pernas has 3 podiums, so that's the top 4 in the championship. And Blue Racer, Pernas and Lunacy all looking to get another one to the tally. So yeah, Lunacy is again providing the goods when he is required. Blue Racer is, I mean, Lunacy has been the most consistent driver easily throughout the season, finishing P3, P2, P4, P4, P4 and P3. So no other driver has been able to match that consistency.
Yes, indeed. I was thinking about the same, and as you have just mentioned, it's just brilliant.
Heading into this round though, West Pacific Racing, having Ridwan and Christopher are still leading the team championship ahead of Bert, but Bert are only a few points behind, and Lunacy and Banana Cake Pie having both pretty solid rounds today, whereas Ridwan and Christopher are having very poor rounds by their standards actually. So Bert will probably look to take the lead of the team's championship after this round.
Yeah.
Blue Racer comes towards the line to start lap 31 and 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go for Blue Racer. Crosses the line 131.7 and Pernas crosses the line 131.9. So now Pernas is the one losing time as Blue Racer's tires condition looks a lot better and his fuel is a bit less, but obviously only 3 laps to go. That's not going to be an issue. Lunacy comfortably in P3.
Yes.
Banana Cake Pie is now under pressure from Prying Stingray, and I would bet my house that Prying Stingray is going to get past, being on fresh super soft tires, and nothing Banana Cake Pie can really do about that. This is going to probably be very frustrating for Pernas though, having had such a comfortable lead earlier on in this race, to be jumped by Blue Racer in the pit stops out of nowhere. Like Blue Racer got some massive undercut, jumped him, and then when they all went and had that collision between Ridwan F1 V19, when they all clustered up into that pack with the 5 of them, Prying Stingray, Pernas, Blue Racer, there was lots of contact and Ridwan ended up hitting the rear of Pernas, and that could quite possibly have costed Pernas this race, all from that incident that started with V19 being a tad late on the brakes.
Exactly, it must cause frustrations for Pernas, and but that's racing, you know, everything can happen.
You know, everyone has issues, everyone has problems. The most consistent driver at the end of the day is the one that will win the championship, and that's just how it is. The one that gets the most points, gets those good results week in, week out, he deserves the championship and he deserves to win the title.
I think, and for the results are getting started to be shaped. Like, I believe Blue Racer 7 will have the pole position, P1.
Yeah.
Also, Furnace is behind.
Yeah, well, Ridwan's 3 main rivals in the championship are in P1, P2 and P3, whereas Ridwan is down in P8, so this is a big haul of points for the 3 of them, as well as last week when Ridwan was missing. So this is really opening the championship up a lot, because the three of them gain a heap of points to compared to Ridwan today, and yeah, that just really opens up the championship. As Blue Racer now comes across the line to set the final lap of the race. Lap 33. Comes across with a 132 dead. Pernas coming to start the final lap. It's not showing up on my screen. 132.1. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Blue Racer just needs to hold it together now, and he will have the race in the bag. As Sprying Stingray has made his way past Banana Cake Pie, as I assumed he would, being on super soft tires. Yarato having a strong race in P6. Macaulay in P7 also having a decent race. Could have been higher, but can't complain with the P7. P8 we got Ridwan F1, who's had a tough race. P9, P19, P10 Tipotter on his debut, so quite a decent race from him. P11 Christofferek, who's unhappy with his strategy, had some problems. Tough race for him. In P12 we got the Stone Tower. In P13 Tidal Wave, but the driver today who has not put a foot wrong, Blue Racer. You just have to appreciate that quality drive. 33 laps of Interlagos, not a foot wrong.
Exactly, I definitely agree with you. He was just driver of the day.
As I say that though, he puts two wheels into the grass, just showing off for the cameras, I reckon. Just giving us some entertainment. As he comes towards the line, weaves across the line for his second win of the season. Blue Racer in P1, P2 Pernas, P3 is going to be Lunacy, quite easily ahead of Prying Stingray. So yet again, this is his third podium of the season from 6 rounds. So consistency, and the 3 rounds that he didn't get a podium, he got P4. So 3 podiums, quality stuff from him. Prying Stingray coming home in P4, having started I think in P7, so that's a good jump up for him, and he gets fastest lap also. Banana Cake Pie across the line in P5, so that's P3 and 5 for Bert, quality as usual. P6 is Yerito, who just beats Macaulay to the line in P7. P8, our championship leader, Ridwan F1, very disappointing race from him today. P19 in P9, Tsipotter in P10. Stone Tower and Tidal Wave finishing a lap down, unfortunately for them. But yeah, Tsipotter coming across the line on his debut for Germany in the Mercedes AMG GT3, finishing P10. Had a tough race at the start, had damage at the start, but that's just how it goes. And P11 in the other Mercedes AMG is Christofferek.
Congrats to Blue Racer 7. I really believed at the beginning of the season he will do something good, but you know, he had some unfortunate races. But now we are seeing his strength in this thing. He is fast and he is consistent for the last races.
Exactly.
So congrats to him and the ones who participated.
Yeah, well, it's obviously congrats to everyone who raced, but massive congratulations to Blue Racer, another great race from him. Blue Racer becomes the second driver this season to take multiple wins, as the gap at the top closes after Ridwan suffers a miserable round. This also affects the team's championship, where Bert take the lead from West Pacific Racing. So, yeah, at the top of the championship, Ridwan still leads, but now the gap is closed all the way down to 11 points between him and Blue Racer. With 4 rounds to go, this championship has just heated up. Yeah, Ridwan is on 106 points, Blue Racer is on 95 points. In P3, we still got Lunacy, still doing a solid job, 21 points off from Ridwan in P3 with 85 points. P4 we got Pernas on 62 points. P5 we got Banana Cake Pie on 52. P6 is Yarito on 40. P7 Macaulay on 32. P8, P9 we got both on 29 points is Bodhod and Christofferek. And the Stone Tower follows them on 26 points. So that's the top few in the championship. Yeah, Ridwan F1 only leads 11 points ahead of Blue Racer heading into Red Bull Ring.
Yes, next round will be very exciting. Another good map,
Yeah,
and we will see how this heated up championship will
yeah,
unfold.
can't wait for that. We love racing at Spielberg. It's always a interesting outcome because of how the track is easy for everyone to cope with. But until then, I've enjoyed commentating with you. It's been a pleasure. Um, See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure to commentate with you also, and see you for the next.
Yep, see you for the next one. See ya.